Hey, Instagram family, it's Karina. It's good to be with you. I took last week off as I was really serving and integrating from the 5-day journey called The Radiant Woman that just ended a week ago. And I'm so excited to be coming to you to talk about my favorite subject, which is self-love. And I have a gem to share with you. Oh my gosh, there's like mockingbirds and hummingbirds outside my window. It's so pretty. So as I'm doing, for those of you who don't know, I'm doing there's a lot of things going on in my world that's exciting, but I am doing an online masterclass series called the Self-Love Shift. And in that, I'm learning all kinds of gems about self-love. And y'all know, right, that self-love is the most important, essential ingredient to any lasting transformational work that we do. I mean, there was a period in my life where so many of the changes that I would make in my life, came not from self-love, but from a feeling that I should be different or better and that I needed to change. I think of times I've changed my diet, right? Like going on diets, trying to clean up my diet and it being from a place of feeling like I was too fat, right? Those changes don't work out so well. Trying to fix my partner because I thought, he should be better or he should be different, right? Trying to change myself because I should be better, I should be different. And when we're trying to make changes from that place of not enough, the changes don't stick because they're coming from a place of scarcity and lack and fear, not from the truth of our enoughness. So even right now, you can take a nice big breath. And really allowing yourself to settle into your body. To be embodied is a fierce act of self-love. Because to really be embodied takes a certain amount of trust. Because guess what you can't do as much of when you're really in your body? You can't think as much. Right? You know what it's like? Hey, everyone. Hey, Andy. Welcome. You know how when you're like lost in thought, feels like your energy is like everywhere but here, right? And so when we're lost in thought, we're not connected to our bodies. So coming into the body is a way, when we do that, we take some of that energy away from thinking and we transfer it into being. Now, for it to stay there, it requires intention and practice. But all of us, like right now in this moment, can just simply arrive in our bodies. And then notice as I'm talking and as you're listening, the way your mind wants to take you off on some tangent, even the way the mind wants to think about what I'm saying. And in that thinking about what I'm saying, you can go off on a story and lose track of what's being like taught here. You know what I mean? So as you're receiving this teaching and anything here that you're needing to receive, I encourage you to like rest back in your awareness and then to be embodied. And you don't have to try to receive what you need. Just be open and magically it happens. Okay, so I wanted to share with you from this place of presence one self-love gem that has just been like blowing my mind that I've been uncovering from these conversations that I'm having with amazing people around the topic of self-love. Okay, so I'm going to share this piece. This is actually something that Daniel Gutierrez shared with me. And I found it to be so powerful and such a great image that I wanted to share it with you. Think of a river. Think of the way a river flows. A river never goes backwards, but we do. Doesn't so much of our suffering come from the ways in which we feel like we've screwed things up? Guilt, shame, regret from the past. We carry it around with us in the present moment, sometimes like a badge of honor. Or sometimes it's not even a badge of honor. It's like we carry it around like Well, we do. We think like by carrying it around, we're honorable, don't we? So I guess we do carry it around like a badge of honor. Like we have to keep reminding ourselves of all the ways that we haven't lived up to our own expectations. And why do we feel like we need to do that? That's going the opposite direction. You know, this is like a lack of self-love. If I'm beating myself up with the past, like, think about that. It's already happened. You know, it doesn't mean that you don't clean it up. Please do. Like, make amends, talk to the people you need to. But once you've done that, give yourself the grace to freaking drop it. Like right now, you might just check in. Are you dragging some guilt or some shame or some story from the past into this moment? Are you going against the river? Because the river is flowing through you and through all of life right now in this moment, myself included. And when I'm in alignment with that river, when I'm in flow, then my life continues to open up in magnificent and wonderful ways. Doesn't mean I always like it, right? But there's meaning to it, right? There's nothing in my life that's arising that's in the way. Because I get that on this journey, everything that arises is the way. But I can't be open to flow if I'm carrying around that fucking bag behind me or that burden. So think about that for yourself. How can you drop the burden? How can you just put it down and not see this moment through it? Because when you do that, oh good, I'm glad this is landing. Be Real with Jess. I love your names. When we do that, then I forgot where I was going. And that's just a fully transparent moment with you, because this is part of self-love, is we're just authentic. Had a train of thought and I lost it because I was reading a comment. My point being that to radically love ourselves, we get to enter into this moment light and free, and trusting that the lessons we needed to learn from the past have been learned, right? And if we fuck up and we say something that like hurts someone, or we make a mistake, like we get to clean that up. We don't have to do more than that. We don't have to keep picking up the past and letting it, this is what I was going to say, because then you see this present moment filtered through that shit. Do you get that? And this moment is wanting to be fresh and new to you. But you're not letting it when you carry around the guilt and the shame from the past. Right? Then you're just seeing this moment through that lens, and then you're seeing the future, which actually doesn't exist. All that ever exists is now. But you're seeing that future that now the moment is unfolding, right? Through the same, like, as if it were the past, because you're seeing it that way. So guess what you'll attract? And it goes on and on like that until you wake up. And it's your birthright to wake up. It's your birthright to feel free. It's your birthright to live in alignment with your soul. And you can't do that if you're always carrying the past around with you. Lay down the burden. Don't wait for permission, because there's no fairy that's going to come and do it. I would if I could. Notice when you're picking up the past and beating yourself over the head with it. And the moment you do that, commit to loving yourself enough to putting it down. Take a breath and move forward as present and clear as you possibly can. No one can do this by themselves, and that's why I teach this stuff. So last but not least, my invitation to you, if you want to learn how do I do that, it's easy for me to say, just drop the meh. That's easy to say, right? It might be resonant for you, and that's awesome. Hopefully it helps you for the rest of the day. But how do you practice that? Because there's a practice here. I have on Saturday a workshop called Radical Self-Love at Yogalution Movement in Long Beach, California. It starts at 1 p.m. There's a link to sign up for that in my bio. So click on that and come join me. If you don't live in Long Beach, California, that's okay. You can still join. I'm going to be streaming it And so it's live, so that you can come in and you can join virtually. So just check that link and sign up. And I can't wait to see some of you on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 13th of July at 1 p.m. so I can teach you how to lay down the burden of guilt and shame and doubt so that you can be freed up to live the life that you were designed to live. I hope this serves you today. Let me know if it did. Sending you so much love and many blessings, and hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. Namaste. Oh, and live.